My name is Alan Betts, and I live and work in Pittsford, Vermont. And I'm in a very unusual situation as a scientist in that I came to this country, the United States, from England, you can probably tell it from my accent, in 1970 as a postdoc. And I worked at Colorado State University as an assistant and associate professor for about 8 years, mostly on big international experiments. I've understood what is happening to the Earth's climate for about 25 years. And every decade that passes, every month indeed, we get new information about critical things that are going unstable, like the ice sheets at Antarctica. We understand more about how losing our snow cover and our ice cover in the Arctic is accelerating northern latitude climates and transforming our winters here in Vermont. So I realized just how critical the issue is. And last year, for the very first time, the winter was so warm that even my granddaughter could dig in February. And when I explained to her that it's probably the first child that has been digging in Vermont for 100,000 years, she didn't get it. She's 7 years old. But it's focused for me the last 10 years just how much the climate system is changing, just how much of what we've taken for granted is not going to be there for my children and grandchildren. I've got 5 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren at this point, and they're going to have to deal with the climate, extremes of weather, droughts and floods, and extreme difficulties with agriculture on a global scale that we and my generation never had to deal with. There's absolutely no doubt that the climate system is changing, and there's no doubt that the burning of the fossil fuels, which were laid down over 100 million years in a century or so, is the first driver, yes. But we, with the rise of technology, have kind of forgotten what it is to be deeply connected to the earth. Now, if you're a gardener, you have some of that connection. You can watch the seasons change. You can understand how you have to adapt to the changing weather and climate year after year. And I say I've done that in 40 years in Vermont. So when I'm asked if I'm hopeful, what I usually say is that if we take the right path, the earth will work with us. If we go on living with blinders on our vision and thinking that somehow technology will save us in the end, I'm afraid the path ahead is going to be very, very rough for our children and grandchildren.